So something new to shooting on day 2 was 2 new actors, Keely Bowen and Tim Connors. And they're both CMU staff, and Tim just retired, and they know Steve Berglund as a CMU professor as well. So those 3 got to rehearse things together, and when they walked in and they had to portray government officials, but not CIA, not FBI, not any like really serious, but just Department of Energy, they're kind of like the misfits.
Cut. All right.
Charlene gave me this.
They can be ass kickers, but they're working in like a cool agency. They came in and they rocked it.
Nicholas James Cotter. I'm Melissa Davis. This is Jeff Brown and Dr. Thomas Kent.
And they're so professional and so fun, and pretty much every scene they had, 2 takes and done. No reason to yell cut. Everything was right where it needed to be, and there was only a few moments where I was like, hey, let's try this way, or I think your interpretation's a little off, let's do it this way. Mason will open the door for you.
Okay.
Take a step out.
I'm the one knocking.
Take a step out.
No.
I'm so happy we got them here.
Yeah?
Mason,
like,
I am
kabam.
locking this top lock. Okay.
Oh,
They just locked.
they just locked us out. Joke's on us.
You just know the scene's gonna be so fun to watch and so well performed.
Is anybody else seeing double?
Nick met himself.
We had a great time working together.
Yeah.
And it was, and you talk about a sense of humor. We've had a great time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah.
You're just talking to her. Okay, bathroom's there. Okay. Everyone else is go.
Sure, yeah. Okay, you want me to go?
Yes. And you can say thank you. And
The fact that we were all in almost all of the scenes together today that we did. We didn't have much. You know, Steve has all of Act 2 without us, and I'm sure it suffers as a result. But we had a great time.
I think that's right.
My favorite times were when I wasn't with them.
12. Can we do that?
Got it.
Cut. We're gonna go with Keely. I want it to be more like a wow.
Okay.
And this time, D, get Keely. Yep. Kevin, get Steve on his line. It's right after Keely's. And Steve, yours, instead of, I want it to be like 2012, like as though like you're Frank Sinatra talking about that was a good year or something. 2012. Can we do that?
Can we do that? All right.
You know what I mean? Yes. So in 3, 2, 1. Everyone hold still. D, can you see that photo frame?
It's dark. I am getting detail in it, but I don't know if I can tell who
Can you
face
pump
is.
your eyes so up at all?
Yeah.
Just hold still, everybody.
All right. What's your limit?
What are you at?
I'm at 5,000 right now.
Okay, go down to like 3, and then Mason, take that little light by you and squeak it over towards your left. Yep, right there. Now take your head. No, keep it under the thing. But take your head and put your head on this side of it towards me. There we go. Does that help you out, D? Opposite way. There you go.
Yeah, I mean that helps.
Okay. So we're gonna pick up right there.
So only rack focus from Mason to the frame.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're struggling, Mason. You're struggling, and come on down in 3, 2, 1.
Go! Oh my God! They're back!
Reset. I'm so sorry, guys. Keely, you gotta do some creative lighting here. You're gonna have to turn the light up towards you and Tim.
Okay, I thought then when I got down here to do that, I was like, I realized that's not helping.
Hey.
Reset. Tim, you'll not a full reset, but Tim, go back to where you were.
Yep.
Did it work? D, for just this shot, pull up towards Tim's face. Keely, half light him. Yep, right there. You're looking at Dr. Kent, and you slowly shut it. Yeah. So actually start with did it work? So 3, 2, 1.
So, did it work? Hey.
Steve, you're gonna laugh and jump up, and I'm going.
Jump?
Well, stop. You're going to laugh and get. Mason has a scene in the basement where he has to teach the government trio how his time machine works. And there was no time, and there's only so many things you can prep for, where I couldn't tell him, hey, this is how you're gonna draw the diagram of your time machine out, and this is where you're gonna draw the arrow. And when we did the scene, we had like one piece of cardboard and a marker And Mason's like, do you want me to just draw it? I'm like, yeah, just give the scene and draw whatever's logical to you. And he's like, okay. And he did it. And in one take, we're like, okay. It isn't like perfect, but he's also a character who's not perfect. So it's like, okay. And then the other thing about that scene was we needed Mason to step on a picture frame of him and Russ right at the right timing. It had to like crack the frame like down the middle. And that was one of these deals where I just knew I don't have 2 or 3 copies of this photo to do it. We have one frame, we get one chance, so all cameras point at it. Make sure you're recording, do not miss this.
Ready?
Yep. So can you go back and save a life?
I wish.
Lift your foot out of there. Good. Okay, cut.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Ezra's over there like, yep. And it actually turned out really cool. So another little fun thing about shooting in the basement was that Tim had to become a cameraman for a scene, and we actually used footage from his handy cam.
The camera, Grant, the cameraman.
Really?
It's dark.
And he was like, so how do I work this thing? I'm like, you see that red button? He's like, yep. I'm like, you push it? He's like, okay. And that was it. and so just like that, he's going to get like a camera operator credit on the film. Cool. And his footage actually turns out.
Nick, how far back did you say it can go?
Up to 7 years.
It's like exactly what it needs to be, and it's fun seeing it.
Can we do that?
You got it. Enter destination.
I have to say, Mason is incredible. And as a good actor, every time we finished a scene and we said cut, he would still play his moment an extra 3 to 5 seconds.
And don't worry about security clearance, he already knows.
Let's pick up from there. So you've already said Nick, and then...
And I kid you not, all throughout the edit of this film, I totally used it. So it's really, really helpful the way he did that. And in bragging about Mason, I will also say this. There was a moment in which we needed the scene, or we needed the time machine to start shaking and rumbling.
Megan, this is where you get to be a star. Fine. You are the lucky girl that gets to go under that table and start to rumble it. You have to rumble it.
Okay.
So this is where it gets dicey. Okay.
Got this.
Don't worry, he already knows. You can be more confident, more happy. Don't worry, like he already knows.
Okay.
Like, everything's good, we're good.
I got you.
Okay, climb on under there. Like a little mouse.
Cross-legged best.
Now, when you rumble it, I think you need to grab the arms of the thing and go back like side to side. Yeah, like that. That's a pretty good looking pace. That's a pretty good pace. Don't bang it or anything. 3, 2, 1.
Wait, Cole, can we get just a little bit before
Megan,
that?
Yeah.
Just like,
I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and then you count 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1.
out.
Huh?
Out!
What?
Go! Run, everyone!
Oh, I'm sorry, Megan. No more rumble. You're killing it, but no more rumble. Okay, Megan, you can come on out. Your job is well served. Everyone, give it up for Megan. That was a thing.
But we got done with that scene and then came back and realized, oh crap, we actually need someone to shake it for one more second. And she was already leaned back in the couch, looking at papers and checking the script. And Mason's like, I got it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to get a cut in here, so...
You're gonna want to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes.
5 minutes we got, all right. Let me just get a B-roll shot of this.
It's shaking.
Thank you, Mason. You're a champ.
After acting for like 10 hours, he just runs over, dives underneath the thing, shakes it for 6 seconds, and I yell, cut. And in what I would say is 5 or 6 seconds after I say cut, he's already run back over to the stairs, goes up the stairs 2 steps, and I say action, and he's coming down the stairs playing the scene.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Like he just went from dude under the thing shaking to right in character perfect coming down. It's like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
And like he came down with straight face, like so bewildered that the machine was no longer shaking, and it was awesome. He was just killing it.
And we got to change that clock. But everything was good, so we'll do one more of him coming down and checking it out.
I think one moment in the day that kind of serves as a little like small metaphor for how this whole film is, Tess was setting the digital clock up and it had to say 11:14 p.m. And she's like, well, I know this scene has a little bit at the front of it. Don't you think I should set it to 11:13, because by the time we get over and we look at the clock, it might switch the next minute ahead.
But
You
say,
felt
put it on
pretty good
13
on that
though,
one?
right? 'Cause
I lost a little focus.
Well, I was just gonna wait till like we were all
Good.
set up and then I'd hit 7, hang it back up.
I just feel like it's gonna take me a minute to get over there.
Set, yeah.
What's it got to be, 11:14 or 15?
14.
Change it to 14. I like to live on the wild side with these cheap manufactured things. All right, everyone head up.
There's only one way to do this film, and you just gotta go for it. She's like, all right. So she put it at 11:14. I was like, all right, go. So we had 60 seconds to get like back to this spot.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Status.
All the crew were watching the clock, and I'm like doing the scene, and Mason comes over and he looks at the clock, and the time machine just got done saying 11:14 p.m. and he looks up and the clock says 11:14 p.m. and then switches to 11:15 like the second they finish talking.
It changed?
Cut. We're gonna. That son of a bitch thing. Did you see that? Oh my god. It was
I
like-
told you!
Okay, you're gonna start right there where you start to come back. You guys are right. I'm wrong.
So if you want to know which moment in the film on day 2 got the most takes, turn your eyes towards Steve Berglund. He had a line in which he had to deliver, hey, where'd your stupid ugly tie go? But he had to do it super elated and pure happiness because everything was going right. Like the past changed and things were better and what else could change? And then he looks at his partner and his partner's ugly tie has changed to something natural and looking good. And so he has to look at him and say, hey, where'd your stupid ugly tie go? Like, this is crazy. And his very first take, he didn't interpret that like I interpreted it.
Nick, do you know what this means?
What else changed?
Where'd you get that stupid ugly tie? We could save lives!
I'm sorry.
Even
I'm
for
sorry.
rewinds. Where'd your stupid ugly tie go? Where'd your stupid ugly tie go?
You have to. I want your line to be ecstatic and happy instead of
The tie line?
Yes, instead of mean. You are recognizing another change.
I gotcha.
Sorry. So it isn't
I thought what we talked
where's
about
your
was
stupid-
I was figuring it out. Okay.
What else?
Where'd your stupid ugly tie go? We could save lives, even plan for rewinds.
Proper testing.
Who knows how much we can fix?
Another big thing for the day that I was really excited about was I had something planned for Mason. He had no clue. I took it out of his version of the script, so we all came in like, okay, this is gonna be a really big, emotional, impactful scene. It's when his character comes back from the past and realizes, shit, not everything changed. There's still divorce papers on the table. There's still a box of junk I never sifted through. There's still all these things wrong about his present day. And what if in the box that he was supposed to go through in Act 1, but he was too neglectful, there were all these photos of him and his wife, and she had left them there and left a note, like saying, I'm sorry we're doing this. And then at the end of the photos, it said like, can we start over? So it was like a really great like thing that she did to try and like get them back together, but after 2 weeks he never looked through the frickin' box, and it's like, that's why. So we didn't even tell Mason, but we photoshopped all these photos of him and Tori. I got all these images when he was young, when she was young, put them all together, made it look like they went traveling on airplanes, even had a wedding day photo as like the last one. And it was like so cool. We put them in the box, and leading up to it, I told Kevin and Dee, our camera people, I'm like, all right guys, there are photos in there. Mason doesn't know. Do not let him look in that box until we're ready for like, because we want to get our cameras in good angle and we want to get his emotion and like catch it, get something live, because that's fun. That's when like magic happens. So there's like this quiet energy that we're all like giddy and like kind of nervous. Like I was actually shaking like, okay, he's gonna see him. And we finally got to the take where he did it, and he actually had this great look of surprise, like, what's that? And then he started to pull him out, but unfortunately, because he's kind of living in the real world, he actually thought the Photoshop pictures were cute and funny, or like, oh guys, that's cute. But we're like, okay, on this second take, when you redo it, you have to look at these with remorse and regret and feeling like, dang it, I'm an idiot. So on take 2, he redid it, and we got the emotion we needed. But it was fun. It didn't totally work, but his second take did. So finally we get to Noel's house. It's the second location of this whole movie, and it's the big climax, and we lit the whole thing with cute lights, and everything's looking perfect for, it's like we're setting the stage for this great finish. Yet Mason's running on hour 14 of shooting that day, and Tori's been on set and waiting around for like 14 hours. Everyone's like getting to this point where it's like, this is the biggest, most important scene of the film, and we're also slowly dying, like slowly losing it.
Rachel!
Now look to the other door, and then head that way. Cut. Okay, Dee, I actually want you 100 millimeter looking down this aisle. When he comes up, I want a medium shot. Mason, that was awesome. Grab those chairs. One more. Yes, and take that light in with you when you go, and that camera. 3200. You're the man, D. Okay. Let's go. These lights look sick on the camera, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
Ready, D? I know it's going to be kind of a wing job in terms of the focus, but good luck. And 3, 2, 1. And look up at the stars. Awesome. Go, 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 go.
Jess! Rachel? Hello?
Okay, one more time. That's okay.
I let it go too far.
Yep, that's
or
okay.
Not far enough down.
Yeah, so you can pause a 2-second count.
Yep.
That's your Indiana Jones run.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Oh, run. Love it. Now back down, Artoon. And now, yeah. And now go in. Cut. Okay, now, perfect. Everyone's got to scatter.
Okay.
Where's Artoon and the Pampers? Okay.
Thankfully, everyone had the energy, and we actually slowed down production at that point, and I said, we don't need to finish like right at midnight. We were already like running behind. I was like, let's just treat the scene proper and do it right, and not like just rush out the door and lose our whole ending. So as the climax scene came about, you always try your best to be ahead of everyone else, ahead of the script, ahead of shooting. You just know. But at this point in the day, I actually admit I slipped a little and didn't realize that we were about to do this scene in which Mason rips the divorce papers. Like, I knew it was coming, but I totally forgot. We only had one copy of those papers, and we only had one camera facing Mason. So it was one take wonder in which he pulls them out, rips them, crumbles them, and throws them. And after the scene was done, I was like, holy shit, that was a really big thing that I should have been worried about or planning for. I'm like, Dimitri, did you shoot that? And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, of course, I should trust D. Like, he's the man. Of course, I should just trust him. But it wasn't until after I saw him throw the papers, I was like, oh my God, we didn't have a backup of those. And we got to finish this tonight.
3, 2, 1. Oh my God, I'm sorry for laughing. We could have took it, but Jesus. Yeah, buckets. You could build a bank with all those bricks, man.
So we continue pushing through these scenes, and of course, Tori has to lay on some real deep emotional stuff, and she has to get to tears, and Mason has to react to it and also get there. And so there were moments where when we reset the scene, we're like, okay, let's do it again. Tori's like, give me like 30 seconds, a minute, let me like think about things and build up. She's low on energy, and she's like kind of prepping herself. And meanwhile, Mason's like leaning against the car, just like eyes closed, like basically taking a nap. And man, it's crazy when you see Tori turn back around and she's like switched from casual, like, was that good? What'd you think? And she turns around, she's just like looking at Mason like, I'm so mad at you right now. And it's like, okay, it's game time. And as we continue the scene, what it really boiled down to was the reason this is the biggest scene in the movie is because Tori has a huge monologue that she's got to deliver that basically sums up everything that's been wrong with the relationship, and then she has to turn him down. Even though he's learned his lesson and he's here for her, she's moved on. And then he has to come back and prove it that he's above that, and that he's a changed man, even though it's only been a few hours since he saw her earlier today. And everything was banking on, will they have the energy? Like, it made sense for Mason's character to be exhausted at this moment, because he's been 7 years in the past and been back and fallen down the stairs like 3 times and gotten punched. And it made a lot of sense for his character to just be like dead. Tori, on the other hand, maybe not so much, but I actually think in shooting this way, it lended itself to, like, Mason being that tired worked very well for the scene. And you can just kind of see it in him. He's starting to get bags under his eyes. The big thing was, hopefully, because we're all brains are a little mush right now, hopefully when we get back to the edit bay, what just happened tonight was good. And not only believable, but hopefully a little bit like magical and great. One last big variable of the day that it's like they just keep coming all throughout, even by the end of the night. We only had 2 red mugs and we needed Mason to trip and drop them. And it's like, all cameras point at the mugs, all cameras point at the ground. Mason, give us your best trip and we'll see what happens. And pretty much all 3 of us got the shot, and I was able to kind of pick the best. And they broke cool, the steam from them rose and it looked all neat. And everything worked out. So at the end of this long, like 15-hour day or 16-hour day, we ended 1 hour behind schedule, but that's totally okay, because we were much more happy to just give these actors a chance to really do their thing instead of just skimping out.
How do you feel right now?
Great.
Tired.
Great.
But in a great, but in a great
I feel
way.
great.
In a positive way.
I don't actually feel tired.
I feel like we accomplished a lot today.
Right. But I do feel energized because of completing the whole thing in a day, at least this portion of it, and having characters like that to work off of.
I'm feeling a lot of emotions. I'm antsy because it's almost over. We're getting some pickup shots right now, and by we I mean Grant. And I'm antsy, I'm ready, and I'm excited.
And this one's especially impactful because when we're done with this,
We're done.
We're done.
I was talking to somebody about that like 2 days ago, and they're like, wow, that sounds like a really long day. That's going to suck. I was like, it is going to be a very long day. It's going to be a fun day. But the cool thing is, at the end of that long day, we be done.
Yeah,
and
we got a
in
movie.
Grant's hands, and we got a movie.
We got a movie.
I think creatively, I enjoyed the Mason's character running up the stairs and with the hope of this new future, and then he's immediately crushed and sees that things haven't changed, and he goes through the box of emotions, as he put it. I enjoyed that creatively because I felt like I was having the most fun with composing shots in that scene. I'm excited to see what, if any of it, gets used, but I was pretty proud of some of the shots in that.
Well, I would pick like cumulatively just the scenes that had the government trio in them. just because they had such great chemistry and it came across really well. So it was a lot of fun to witness that.
So it was cool to watch them play off each other, and Tim was hilarious. Steve's always a great time, and Keely, I mean, they're all amazing. But yeah, I just found all of Tim's deliveries just like so endearing and hilarious.
They're desperate. I like the crown molding.
Were there challenges or roadblocks today? Sometimes my inability to remember the lines.
What? We can save lives, even plan for rewrite.
We had rehearsed once together, but of course it wasn't on site. And so trying to figure out, okay, how far up and down the stairs, where are we in a shot or whatever. But it was great fun. I had, the funniest thing that happened today was I had to retie my ties like 87 times.
No, the funniest thing today was him acting like he had to pee. Because we did not get through that scene.
I guess we could.
For heaven's sake. And a bathroom, please.
They wouldn't stop.
Okay.
That is true. It's the only time I laughed on camera. That's true. That was funny. That was funny.
It was funny stuff.
Jeff, and a bathroom, please.
They wouldn't stop.
Did our preparation pay off? I guess we'll find out when we see the film. It feels like it paid
Yes,
off.
yeah. I would think it did. Only because then being prepared in a scene, so you don't, when you come to a set like that, you don't want to be the person that is holding the shot back. You know, with can't get that line, or can't get that line, I don't know this model, whatever it is. You don't want to be that person. So there's no way I would have come here unprepared. So I believe in that way, preparing with the script ahead of time, memorizing lines, having the one rehearsal we did have, definitely paid off, because everyone comes to the set hopefully with a professional mindset, and that happened today.
And also the fact that it was being done in one day. We were shooting all of this in one day. Really added to the need to prepare and to get ourselves ready, and that was very, very helpful, I think.
You hungry? There's literally no food in this house.
You guys are awesome. There goes the happy trio back on a new adventure.
There's a sequel. There's a sequel, yeah.